Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot my job. There. Sorry, Maya.
Maya Krawick. Alden Reingart.
I graduated.
Kaden Corral. Rose Walt. Juniper Jacob. Harrison Thompson. Nina Price. Emery Llewellyn. Brandon Thompson. Reese Nelson. Isabel Brown. Sean Sliger. Graham Karen. Abigail Acosta. Benjamin Gilbert. Bailey Brewer. Ethan Hodgson. Evan Brewer.
It has been.
Helen Duffy. Penelope Boothby. William Hilton. Isabella Apollonio. Margaret Sawyer. Jeffrey McKinney. Jacob Martin. Margaret Thompson. Amelia Starbird. Tyler Dinsmore. Atticus Donahue. Kima Carr. Flynn Lilly. William Skiff. Torin Nearboss. Madison Hannah.
special thanks to my mom.
Sean McFarland. Chase Ober. Elliot Davis. Owen Ace Card. Nicholas Vanderbilt. Tallulah Mark. Alex Shaw. Thomas Michael. Alba Gandler. Adrian Quinn. Nathaniel Hofnagel. Sophia Anderson. Sarah Pryor. Cannon Smith. Lexi Houghton. Soul Overdome. Seamus Stroud. And Matilda Mark.
Officially, the class of 2022.
Good evening. My name is Margaret Thompson, and I'm honored to be speaking to you today as we celebrate the completion of 8th grade. Recently, I was looking back at some childhood photos. I quickly realized that many of the photos were taken on Great Salt Bay grounds. This made me pause. I've been attending this school for 9 years. My teachers in this community have practically raised me and taught me some lessons along the way. Today, I want to share some of those lessons with you. Lesson number 1. There are times when you need to be brave and step forward to be a leader. I saw this firsthand this year with Mrs. Ball, who stepped up to coach the girls' basketball team when no one else would. We were at risk of not having a season at all. She was unsure of herself as a coach, but took that risk and led. In the end, with her help, we won the Bus Line League Championship. I also learned this from Mrs. Addicks, who stepped into the role as the athletic director when no one else would. By doing so, she saved my 8th grade year. Mrs. Ball and Mrs. Addicks told me to be brave, and when it is time to step up and be a leader, to do so. Lesson number 2. We all learn at our own pace. I came into 1st grade as a non-reader. This was especially hard because people around me were able to read books while I was still learning my letter sounds. But Mrs. Hilton gave me just the instruction I needed at that moment. By the end of 1st grade, I was fluently reading and never without a book in my hands. Lesson number 3. There's lots of power in a well-written persuasive essay. In 3rd grade, Mrs. Pinkham gave everyone a persuasive writing assignment. Of course, I wrote about why my parents should get me a puppy. I had a well-formed argument and in-depth supporting details. Mrs. Pinkham told my mom, "If you don't get her a puppy based on that piece of writing, I will." The pen truly is mightier than the sword, and those who know me know that I finally got my puppy. Lesson number 4, saying hello can make someone's day. One of the things I appreciate about Mr. Roy is that he takes the time to notice the individual traits of students and what it is that makes them unique. But what I most appreciate about Mr. Roy is that he always takes the time to say, "Hello, Maggie," every time he sees me. That simple gesture makes me feel like I matter and makes my day. Lesson number 5, everyone has a part to play. In addition to being my teachers, Miss Kay and Miss Campbell directed Drama Club. They were so good at assembling a cast and finding the perfect person for a role. It was almost scary how similar the characters were to the actors and actresses. I always cast as the comic relief and had so much fun with it. Lesson number 6, you understand the present day by learning about the past. Mr. Huff started every story by saying, "Back in the 80s." And when not teaching us math and science, we learned exactly how different it was back in the 80s. Mr. Huff made every class fun and interesting. To this day, I appreciate his approach and connection he had with his students. Lesson number 7, hold your head high no matter what. Mr. Feltus has taught me that whether you're on the softball field or in the classroom, not every call goes your way. It's about how you battle back, be your best, and win or lose, be sure to continue to hold your head high. Lesson number 8, when you work as a team, the sky's the limit. This lesson was taught to me throughout the years at GSB. I learned it in athletics with my coaches, and I learned it in music with Miss Katie and Miss Anne Marie. Mrs. Galetta also taught me this as one of my student council advisors. When we worked together as a team, we accomplished so much. One of our greatest achievements was raising over $1,600 for the country of Ukraine. Lesson number 9, there are people you can count on when it seems like there is nowhere else to turn. I've been fortunate because Mrs. Gerard, Ms. Simmons, and Mr. Addix have all been those people for me. Every time I seemed off, Mrs. Gerard would simply slide me a sticky note or whisper in my ear to ask if I'm okay. That simple question can help so many people and remind them that they don't have to be alone. Ms. Simmons is always there when I need another perspective or advice on how to handle a situation. She always steers me in the right direction. And for 8 years at GSB, Mr. Addix was my go-to when I needed support. He was my teacher, my coach, and my mentor. He was always consistent and dependable and would give me honest feedback when I needed it. Find those people to count on. They are out there. Lesson number 10. Sometimes you have to make adjustments to hit the target. Mr. Stenstrom tried to teach me science. Although science may not be my area of expertise, he did teach me this important lesson through archery. If the arrow was a little to the left, move the bow a little to the right. Keep practicing, and you'll get that bullseye eventually. Mr. Stenstrom has taught me that all of the little moves you make have an impact on your final result, and it's important to learn from the mistakes you make along the way. Our teachers had a significant role in raising us and making us who we are today. I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for all you've done for me and for all of my classmates.
Hi, I'm Tulua Marks. Many of us 8th graders have been at Great Salt Bay for 9 years, and leaving GSB is bittersweet. Bitter because we are leaving the safety of GSB's walls, and sweet because all of us are excited for the next adventure and eager to move on to something bigger. Leaving and moving on to high school means we all finally get to spread our wings and grow, but it also means that this will be the last time we'll ever go to school with many of my classmates. I have been at this school since I was 5, and now at 13 years old and leaving 8th grade and upcoming freshman, every single moment we've all had together will now be memories. Walking down what we all used to consider the big kid hallway, going through a global pandemic, having classes over Zoom, wearing masks when around our friends, playing sprout ball for the first time, getting a locker, many of us meeting our now best friends, and the GSB girls basketball team winning a championship. I mean, this is a transition in our lives, and I and everyone else will be moving on to something bigger and hopefully brighter than these moments. We are all moving on to a new era, a new period, and that next part of our lives will be something I know we will love and cherish just as some of us have these 9 years. But sometimes I wish, and maybe a lot of my fellow classmates have as well, we could have stopped the clock the day at Fort Knox, the day in Boston, sitting with friends watching people play incredibly bad basketball at recess, and simply laughing with our teachers. But for now, we can all just reminisce about those memories. Maybe a lot of us are also thinking about what we won't miss, the tests, the projects, the presentations, but secretly I think all of us will miss those things that we might realize just now we've actually loved all along. So here we all are sitting together saying goodbye to the home, school, and teachers we have adored and loved for the past 9 years of our lives together. So let's move on to the next chapter of our lives, bright and beautiful and ready for the next few tests, projects, and presentations and memories that will be made. No matter how afraid and no matter how sad this moment might be, let's remember and let's be excited for the next page in our books. Thank you, class of 2022.